Hi, good morning, and welcome to At the Sharp End, a weekly business show where I talk about business issues that either our clients have talked about and asked us about in the recent weeks, or underlying issues that when we talk to new contacts and people in the market, that there's a general misunderstanding about, or a general lack of understanding in total. And this week, I'm going to talk about business modelling a little bit. It's a subject that's very close to my heart because I've always been disenfranchised, I think, by the writing business plans, which are particularly dry documents. They are usually fairly ambiguous, so quite often you write about how you're going to get something to market, what it's going to cost, etc., etc. But in a document, it's quite hard to pull all those things together. So I'm a big fan of having something really simple to understand, because I'm a simple kind of guy, and if I can understand it, then the bank manager can probably understand it, your accountant will understand it, and better still, the other people that are responsible for driving your business forward will also understand it. And why is that important? Well, it's really important because if they don't understand it, all these other stakeholders in your business or people that you need to convince that your business is substantial, you'll have trouble orientating people, you'll have trouble raising finance, you'll have trouble getting the right tax advice from your accountant, and all these things just stack up to make your business a little bit less efficient. And if we follow the recent sporting analogies of marginal gains, which is something that Dave Brailsford of the British Cycling Talent Team and now more recently Director Sportive of Team Sky talks about. He looks at every little thing within a business and how can you make a 1% improvement, and all of a sudden you've made 10% across the business or even more. Enough about that. That's where the ideas have come from, but actually this is about getting the business to be more understandable, and it's about getting the business to be more easily communicated to other stakeholders. So where do you start? Well, there are some great tools on the internet, and if you've never read Alex Osterwalder's book, Business Model Generation, I would really recommend you to read that, and you can probably find the link in the details and the show notes below. There's also a crowdsourced business model canvas which he put together with a lot of other business consultant practitioners who were trying to work on business tools to help consultants and business people to understand and better and more clearly articulate their business. And that tool's fantastic. We use that all the time. In fact, we're developing a little series to talk about that tool, which should be available soon. So if you want to read about that and hear about that and listen to me drone on about it, did I say drone on about it? Sorry, yes I did. Then if you want to subscribe as well, you can do that from below or from our blog and website, which is KheMeiaConsulting.com, and I'd encourage you to do that as well. In that series, we'll take you through how to use the business model canvas, but right now, all I'm going to talk about is why it's such a good tool. One of the things that small businesses struggle with is understanding the profit and loss sheet, right? It's a spreadsheet, it's just full of numbers, and actually for a small business owner to sit and digest that, it's not very meaningful unless you're very fluent with your numbers and understanding spreadsheets. Where a business model canvas differs from that significantly is it's actually split into two. Okay, so on one side, typically the right hand side, it's all about revenues, and on the left hand side it's all about costs. And the canvas has the key areas that make up how you're going to make those revenues. And you might say, well, we make a product and we just sell it. Well, that's okay, that's fine. Have you thought about the other markets that you might sell it into? Have you thought about other partnerships that might allow you to get extended reach, perhaps abroad, perhaps into other markets, or things like that? Have you looked at quality standards and thought, well, if I just improve the quality of my product and attain this level of accreditation for it, actually it would open up these 1, 2, 3 other markets that I could then sell into. And doing little things like that, that's business model innovation, and that really allows you to push business forward without making substantial change to it as well. Really, all you're doing is playing with the business model, and you're recognizing something that your business needs to achieve to be able to access other markets. Now, advocates of a business plan would say, well, you would do all that thinking anyway, and that's quite right, you would. But to have it on a single sheet and to have it on the wall in your office and to be able to communicate that to your team is really, really powerful. In fact, it's very powerful. Excuse me. So that's the first point. Can you innovate around your business model? Because if you can, that's a great way of doing a simple set of things to improve your business. What about future things? So I just touched on other strategic partnerships. What about selling abroad? Have you got a niche product where you could actually sell into another country, but you don't know how to do it, or actually you've never exported as a client, as a company yourself, and it's quite onerous, and you think it's quite onerous to do that? So why not find a partner? Is there a trading partner? Is there a company that wants to get into that market? Where do you find them? Is it a trade show? Is it through UKTI? Is it through the embassy network? How do you do it? Well, there are a number of ways, but actually the first stage is recognizing that, and recognizing that there's another significant market there to go for that could make your business go from where it is now, hopefully, to much greater things. And you can sit down and plan this sort of stuff out, and then from it you get a great action plan for your team or consultants, if that's how you want to do it. Find people that have got existing contacts to go out and actually test some of these ideas out for you and actually find your routes to market. But the first step is figuring out what's there, having someone challenge your thoughts about how your business works. And once you've done that, you can model what sort of growth you're going to expect and how that's going to work for your company. And that's tremendously liberating. Now, the alternate side to that is, what's that going to cost? Because there will be a cost. The easiest thing is to sit back and say, do you know what? We've always done it that way. Our business just works. And that's fine if you don't want your business to grow very much, or you're quite happy making an amount of money and that's it every month. But if you really want to grow, you need to find another way of getting out there, expanding your portfolio, the number of clients you have, the partnerships that you have, all these key things that help drive your business forward. And so you might hire someone, or you might do a temporary contract with someone who's done it before, who'll sit down, who'll help you do the model, and who will help you identify and access other networks. And I think, as a consultant, I think that's where consultants add most value. It's not going in and being an interim. It's not doing high-value projects on a short-term basis. Although there are lots of consultants out there that do add lots of value by doing that, but that will only deliver one thing. If you want the long-term delivery, then it has to be a much bigger project than that. So the other side of the business model canvas, which is what we're really talking about, is all the cost structure. What are the activities? What resources do you need? Who are the key partners? And accessing other markets might mean that you need to increase your cost base. Well, the great thing here is you can do a quick poll. What's the market worth? What's the cost increase needed? And you get a quick barometer of, does it make any money? Is it profitable? Is it not profitable? And the great thing about the business model canvas is you can plan that out in a simple way. And you know what's really great? If you use the online app, or you use the iPad app, or one of the multitude of web apps, more often than not, it will produce you a very simple P&L based on your sales assumptions and your cost assumptions. So you can readily see then quite quickly, instantaneously actually, whether that business works or not. And that's a fantastically empowering thing for most business owners. Great to sit around with the management team and brainstorm and maybe have an external facilitator in there. It certainly helps. I've used it as discovery as a discovery tool for businesses. So how is a business operating? And that helps really just identify some key areas where you may make some quick improvements and some long-term improvements as well. So I would encourage you to go and look at the business model generation, as I said before. Look at the business model canvas, and if you want to engage a consultant to talk about and help you drive that and model your business, and then get an activity plan about how you're going to grow your business, we'd be happy to talk to you. I'm sure others would as well. And that's it for today. So this is Ian Sharp, Business at the Sharp End. Show notes below, and links to external resources that I've mentioned in the show below. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you've been watching live, fantastic, thanks a lot. Hope to see you again next week. If not, see you shortly. Cheers, bye-bye.